The Arizona National Scenic Trail stretches 800 miles across the state, from the U.S.-Mexico border in the south to the Arizona-Utah border in the north. The trail is divided into 43 unique passages.
This trail traverses to the peaks of mountains and down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
To thru-hike the entire route, it will take between 6 and 8 weeks. Typically, thru-hikers starting at the southern terminus begin in March, and hikers starting at the northern terminus begin in October. If you start any later in the spring or earlier in the fall, expect to encounter weather above 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
We've hiked only a small portion of the AZT in southern Arizona, but we would love to one day complete the entire trail, either as a thru hike or in sections.
In early March, we decided to tackle a section of the first passage during a day hike. The logistics of section hiking can be tricky. If you backtrack, you are essentially hiking the trail twice.
Passage 1 begins at the U.S.-Mexico border and ends 21.7 miles northwest at Parker Canyon Lake. There is no parking lot at the southern terminus. The closest lot is at Montezuma Pass, 2 miles north. This means that you will hike the first 2 miles of the trail twice.
You can either drive and park at Montezuma Pass and Coronado National Memorial, or park at the Coronado National Memorial Visitor Center and take the free shuttle to Montezuma Pass. The shuttle service only runs on certain days of the week and is limited to a small number of passengers, so make sure you check in at the Coronado National Memorial website in advance. Also be aware that this service may be on hold during the pandemic.
If you are completing this section as a day hike and opt to take the shuttle, like we did, keep in mind you will have to hike back to your car at the visitor center an additional 3 miles. Montezuma Pass has a bathroom, picnic tables, and unparalleled views of the surrounding mountains.
From Montezuma Pass, you will hike 2 miles south to the southern terminus. From Montezuma Pass, follow the signs for Coronado Peak Trail, and shortly after, follow the signs for Joe's Canyon Trail. 0.8 miles later, turn right at the intersection and follow the Yaqui Ridge Trail. The trail is well defined and marked with a sign and showing the AZT blaze. An obelisk marks the trailhead, and a small barbed wire fence separates the borders of Arizona and Mexico. The obelisk signifies the Treaty of 1853, which established the international boundary. Stop for a few photos and take in the view of the beautiful San Rafael Valley.
As you turn from the obelisk and begin hiking back to Montezuma Pass, you will steadily gain elevation, 700 feet over the next 2 miles. The trail takes you through the grasslands and desert flora of the Huachuca Mountains. When you are once again at the pass, walk to the north side of the parking lot and cross Montezuma Canyon Road. Follow the signs for Crest Trail. The trail continues here, up towards Miller Peak.
The trail continues upwards for 4.5 miles with an elevation gain of 3,500 feet. The incline is strenuous, however the ground is flat with few rocks. Two miles from Montezuma Pass, the wind intensifies and the trail narrows.
At some points, the trail narrows to a few inches with a 9,000-foot drop on one side. This erosion may be a consequence of the Monument Fire of 2011. For me, knowing that we would soon have to trace our steps and hike this stretch again was unsettling. This is not a trail for those with a fear of heights.
The AZT does not summit Miller Peak. It passes just short of the top. You can, however, add a few extra miles to your trip and take an intersecting trail to the peak. Since we still had a hike back to the visitor center, we turned around a mile before the intersecting trail to Miller Peak.
If you are section hiking the AZT like us, hike back down to the parking lot at Montezuma Pass. If you rode the shuttle from the visitor center, follow the signs for Joe's Canyon Trail. This is a 3-mile downhill hike. There are many hikers that are stronger and faster than us that could finish the first passage in a day hike. However, if you are planning to section hike the first passage of the AZT, know your limits and remember the extra miles that are included. To get to the southern terminus, you need to hike 2 miles, and the hike back to the visitor center is an additional 3. Don't forget to factor in this additional length.
Passage 1 of the AZT is rated as hard, and with good reason. Plan the logistics of your trip in advance and make sure you have the appropriate clothing to counter the cold, windy weather at the higher elevations. The trail is relatively remote. We only passed about 10 other hikers this entire day, many of which were just beginning their through hikes.
When we return to complete another section of the AZT, we plan to start at the end of Passage 1 at Parker Canyon Lake and hike southeast back to Miller Peak.
Are you working on the section hike to the AZT or another national scenic trail? Let us know. Leave a comment below.